I'm JK Amazy, founder of Elevated Recovery and head coach of the Porn Reboot coaching system. We help high-achieving, high-performing entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders, and executives end their out-of-control sexual behavior, specifically with pornography and masturbation, within 90 days, discreetly. I'm going to talk about a great opportunity to learn. And I had to shoot this video because I did not want this to escape me. This was just one of those things that I felt that if I didn't talk about it right away, I would instantly forget it. I don't know what your experience is with acting out sexually, but in my past, there were moments that I had acted out sexually in ways that, well, almost traumatic, right? So I'll give a couple of examples that I've seen in clients, and I'll use some examples in myself. Actually, I use myself as an example first. One of the turning points in my life when it came to my addictive behavior was when I went on Craigslist. I would watch pornography, didn't have any sexual opportunities, and then, this is many years ago, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, and I would get on Craigslist after I'd acted out, and I would start searching for ways to act out. Now, while I rarely acted out, I was excited. My process addiction loved the prospect of doing so. So just the prospect of like, oh, I'm going to find somebody anonymous that I'm going to have sex with. And that was just my pattern. Some guys can relate to that. For a lot of guys these days, since the Craigslist option, according to my clients, is no longer available, is escorts. So guys will get on apps or sites or whatever is out there, and they will try to meet up with an escort, but you're not really going to go through with it. The reason that you're not going to go through with that is, or you rarely go through with it, is because you are dealing with a process addiction. You're not addicted to actually going to see her. The prospect of driving over there or her coming over brings up a neurochemical reaction that is not pleasant. But the prospect of actually doing it, so actually going there, it would suck, or her coming over would suck. But you anticipating it is the part of this process that you are excited about. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I'm here to talk about when shit goes wrong. So in my case, I ended up trying to drive out. It was cold, it was winter, to meet some girl. Who knows, it could have been a dude, right? I just got pictures, and you know, when you are in that state of being hyper aroused, you're not thinking clearly. You've been taken over by your addict personality. So I'm driving over, and it turns out, long story short, it turns out to be a setup of some sort, and I could have died. Let's just put it like that. If you want to learn more about it, read my book, Confessions of a Porn Addict, 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men. But long story short, I almost died in that encounter. And some of you may have had situations where, you know, you got robbed when you went to visit with an escort. You know, your wife walked in while you're viewing pornography. You left porn on your device and your kid saw it. You accessed your work computer remotely, or you used your work computer to watch pornography and somebody from the tech department or from HR saw it. All of these moments create a great opportunity for you to learn, because in that traumatic moment, that means traumatic, I simply means that you are experiencing an emotion which you do not have the appropriate skills or strategies to deal with. So you're just like, this emotion is absolutely overwhelming. Your heart is pounding. You can literally feel your pulse in your head. You are hyper aware of everything that is happening. I remember driving home from that encounter, squeezing my steering wheel, just ripping it. And I was just like, oh my God, I could have died. Oh my God. Like, you weren't raised this way. What the fuck? How am I alive now? And I remember doing that. And in that moment, I didn't know I was doing this, but I learned something. I made the decision to end my behavior. I went from being a trial rebooter to a true rebooter. Why did it work that time? And why did it not work as well anyway, the other times that I had slipped or relapsed or watched some sort of nasty pornography? Well, that's because when you are in a traumatic situation, that is your body, your nervous system, and your brain telling you biologically, learn something from this situation. Learn something so that we do not die, right? Learn. We've been wired this way, right? It's just like, dude, all right, learn something, and if you learn it at this moment, I promise you, that's what your nervous system and brain is telling you. If you learn this, I will make sure that you learn it forever. I will come back to this moment and bring up this strong emotion again, this traumatic situation, and you will be instantly moved away from making that decision that is not good for us. So it is a survival mechanism when you experience that. Sadly, many men do not learn from that. They either, I'm using this example because it's one that some brothers can relate to. When somebody is caught, or when they get robbed or get scammed and they try to visit with an escort, that's if you're physically acting out, they feel bad for themselves. They spend so much time feeling bad for themselves, feeling shocked by the experience, and they spend so much time in that disbelief that once the state has passed, they have not learned anything from it. And often that can sometimes become a really traumatic situation where you replay it later on, your brain replays it, but because you didn't plant the seed of a lesson in there, there is no data that you have. You have no data for it except the negative emotions. And thus, you experience a post-traumatic stress situation where you are reliving that situation almost at random, or sometimes you might know what the trigger is, but you have nothing to gain from it. So it's so important, gentlemen, that when you are in a traumatic situation, you learn from it. You consciously, that moment, tell yourself something, put in a lesson. I will never do this again. I will not do this because I could have died. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to engage in that behavior again. It just means that this is still a compulsive behavior. Don't get me wrong. Your compulsive behavior doesn't stop. What actually happens is that when you are about to engage in that behavior again, if you find yourself in that situation, your brain and your nervous system is going to kick in and remind you that you should not do it. And you now have this inbuilt extra barrier that's going to prevent you from acting out in that way. So I hope you found this helpful. That's my little message for you guys today, so I did not forget it. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this video, rather to watch this video, and I'll speak to you later on in the week.
Whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways that Porn Reboot can help you out for free. The first way is to subscribe to our channel and make sure you click on the notification bell to get a new video every other day. The second way is to get a copy of the free book, Confessions of a Porn Addict, 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men. You'll learn about my personal struggle and the lessons I've learned over a decade, as well as strategies for putting together your porn reboot plan and ending your compulsive behavior with pornography or masturbation. So click on the link in the description below this video. The third way is if you're not sure where to start, but you'd like to learn more about my team and I, if you'd like to spend time with like-minded professionals, entrepreneurs, business owners, guys who work in sales, consulting, or high-level jobs, men who are controlling their behavior, then join our free and confidential group, the Porn Reboot group on Facebook. There's also a link to join in the description below this video. And finally, if you need help right now because you have a burning issue, your behavior with pornography is hurting you mentally, you're about to lose your relationship, you want to live up to your potential, you want to be an authentic man and free yourself from shame, guilt, and underachieving, click on the link in the description below this video that says free coaching call, or visit elevatedrecovery.org and click on the link which says book a call.